Hey guys, thanks for clicking. This is Joe with Home Improvement Warehouse. Wanted to go ahead and put together this little blog. Some of my customers were telling me about some of the issues that they'd had hiring contractors in the past. And I have a few secrets that'll help you sort of avoid the common pitfalls that you tend to hear. So the first one is whenever you're hiring somebody, trying to find somebody who is specific to the task that you're looking for. Like if you're hiring, let's say, a window contractor or something like that, make sure that the windows there are the main focus, and that's all they do and that's all they want to do. There's some offshoots that you'll be able to work into there because the install principles are pretty similar, but you always want to make sure that you get people that are experts at what they're doing, as opposed to, like, you know, your buddy needs some work right now, so you go find him. Hiring friends is always the hardest thing to do. If there's one thing that we stand by 100%, make sure that you hire somebody who is more financially incentivized to make sure that you're taken care of. Because at the end of the day, as contractors, we live and breathe based on how happy our customers are going to be. So when you hire your uncle, cousin, brother, friend, whatever, a little bit of the pressure's off on their end, and you want to keep that pressure on the contractor to complete the job in a timely manner and to make sure that you're going to be actually satisfied with the work that they do. Now, next is making sure that they have all the proper credentials. So first, you want to find somebody who's an expert. Second, you want to find somebody who has the right credentials to handle the job, whether that's valid insurance, license, etc. Insurance meaning that they have some kind of liability and workers' comp. A lot of times, in some states at least, if somebody falls and hurts themselves and the contractor doesn't have workers' comp, they'll be able to sue the homeowner. Very, very backwards laws on that part, but you want to be careful. And then getting in whatever valid license that they need in it, whether it's a plumbing license, contracting license, electrical license, and that they're certified and ready to roll for it. And then the next part is this. So anytime that you're dealing with a contractor, there's very much going to be a give and take sort of relationship. I mean, this person is going to be at your house from the day that the project starts to the day that the project completes. So make sure you don't hate them, that always helps. But two, make sure that whenever you agree to terms, whatever the project happens to be, and for the sake of simple numbers, we'll use $10,000 for this example. So let's say you're getting some project done, whatever it is, for $10,000, right? Most contractors require some kind of deposit to say, like, hey, I know you're serious about doing the job, or hey, I need to go buy materials to get the job started and stuff like that, which that can raise a bit of a red flag, because in this day and age, there's pretty much no supplier that anyone's going to work with that wouldn't have some kind of a line of credit, meaning that they shouldn't require your deposit to go ahead and get the materials to get the job started. They could borrow against their line and then pay that off at the end of the month or week or whatever once you've actually completed the job anyway. So if somebody says, I need that money up front to buy materials, that can raise a bit of a red flag. Plus, there's a bunch of lending institutions and stuff like that that will give contractors the money up front to start the job, meaning that you won't necessarily need your full deposit, but that varies based on who you're working with, right? So if you go ahead, let's say, and out of that $10,000, you give $5,000 up front, that basically is all the profit and then some that they were going to go ahead and make for the job. That covers a good chunk of their expenses, things like that. That remainder, that extra $5,000 that they would need to go complete the job, technically they lose money on that $5,000. So you want to tie the largest part of the payment to a satisfied completion of the job. Because if not, then the contractor has less incentive to actually go ahead and complete and finish and do everything and whatnot. Typically, you want to have at least 60% or so of your money holding over before the job is completed, and make sure you always do a walk around at the end of it, because a lot of times what I was hearing from customers is they would have the job completed, say, oh, okay, everything looks great, you know, I'll get a chance to do a walk around later, and then the guy's gone. It doesn't necessarily mean that the contractor is a bad guy per se. There could have just been a simple human error, something that got overlooked, but every project that you're going to do is going to be expensive. It's always going to be risky, so you just want to make sure that you're sort of crossing your I's and dotting your T's, and the easiest way to do that, and make sure that you give a little bit of leeway to the contractors in some way, but make sure that you have more of your money in the deal from the beginning. So you're only giving a small amount up front, whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40%, whatever you and your contractor agree to. Just make sure that you keep more of it during the job, so that way at the end of the job, he has something that he needs to work for to complete it properly to your satisfaction. Now, I hope those are helpful. If there's any other topics or anything else that you guys want us to discuss, I'm happy to do so. And if anybody wants to join me on one of these, that'd be cool too. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.